On the 2nd of September 31 BC, the blue waters of the Ionian Sea weren't just a battlefield, they were a courtroom. Two of the most powerful men in the world met here to decide a dispute that had been simmering for over a decade. The prize, not just a crown, but the very soul of the Roman world. Today we're diving into the Battle of Actium, the moment a republic died and an empire was born. This wasn't just a sudden spat. The seeds were planted years earlier, during Julius Caesar's campaigns. After Caesar's brutal assassination in 44 BC, the Roman world was left in a vacuum. Out of the chaos emerged an uneasy trio: Octavian, Caesar's young and calculating nephew, and Marc Antony, the charismatic and seasoned general. They split the world between them. Octavian took the west, Antony took the wealthy, exotic east. But the world wasn't big enough for both. Enter Cleopatra VII. She had already charmed Julius Caesar, even bearing him a son, Caesarion. Now she set her sights on Antony. Legend says she arrived at Antony's camp dressed as the goddess Venus, on a ship with purple sails and silver oars. Antony was hooked. But this wasn't just a romance. It was a political wildfire. Antony was married to Octavian's sister, and his public affair was a slap in the face to Roman honor. Even more dangerous, Caesarion. As Caesar's biological son, he was a direct threat to Octavian's claim as heir. The rift between the two men was no longer a crack. It was a canyon. History was being written in real time by the pens of propagandists and the sharpening of gladius blades. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the scribes' side of the story, the alliances, the betrayals, and the secrets of the ancient world, make sure to hit that like button. It helps our scrolls reach more history enthusiasts like you. And if you want to be here when the sword finally clashes at Actium, subscribe to Sword and Scribe so you never miss a chapter of our journey through the past. Now, let's see what happens when the talking stopped and the ultimate gamble began. By 31 BC, the propaganda war turned into a shooting war. Antony had the numbers, over 100,000 infantry and a legendary reputation on land. But then, he made a fatal mistake. He listened to Cleopatra. She wanted a naval victory. Despite his generals pleading with him to stay on land, one captain famously begged him not to trust rotten timbers. Antony agreed. He burned the ships he couldn't man and took to the sea. The two fleets couldn't have been more different. Antony's ships were Quinqueremes, massive, bronze-plated floating fortresses weighing 300 tons, packed with catapults. Octavian's fleet, led by the brilliant Agrippa, used Liburnians, small, nimble, and fast. It was a fight between a hammer and a swarm of bees. Antony's giants couldn't move. Octavian's ships swirled around them, peppering the crews with arrows and darts before darting away. For hours, the battle hung in the balance. Then, the unthinkable happened. Cleopatra, for reasons still debated by historians, ordered her 60 ships to retreat. And Antony? The great general, the veteran of 100 battles, he abandoned his men. He hopped on a fast galley and chased after her, leaving his fleet to its fate. The surrender was total. Antony's land army, loyal to the end, refused to believe their leader had fled until their own officers abandoned them. Within a year, both Antony and Cleopatra would take their own lives in Alexandria. Octavian stood alone. He was no longer just a nephew or a general. He became Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. The rotten timbers of Actium changed the course of Western history. The Republic was gone, replaced by an empire that would rule for centuries. What do you think? Was Antony blinded by love, or was Actium a tactical disaster waiting to happen? Let us know in the comments below. For more stories of the sword and the scribe, make sure to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.